All right, here's some big news that we're tracking right now. Backlash after government's shelter Rohingya move. The Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has tweeted, flats for Rohingyas. The centre faces attacks from AAP. BJP voices reacting. Hardeep Puri now says Rohingya move debunks CAA critics. AAP attacks, says Modi government sheltering Rohingyas. This is AAP now responding, saying that the BJP government is now sheltering Rohingyas. Let me quickly cut across Amit Bharadwaj for a little more on that. Amit, give us some clarity on this. We're looking at Hardeep Puri, Union Minister, saying that this Rohingya move debunks CAA critiques, while AAP responds saying it's the Modi government, in fact, sheltering Rohingyas. Elaborate for us.
Well, Nabila, this is a typical tip-off point between the Bharatiya Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party, for several months. And in fact, during the assembly elections in the national capital, the BJP was very critical of Arvind Kejriwal government and had accused Aam Aadmi Party of sheltering Rohingya refugees in the national capital in different slums of the national capital. But today, when Union Minister Hardeep Puri made the big announcement that now Rohingya refugees living in the national capital will be provided economically weaker section flats, EWS flats on the borders of the national capital, Aam Aadmi Party was quick to respond on this particular issue. And in fact, now Aam Aadmi Party is accusing the BJP of not only bringing Rohingyas in the country, but also sheltering them, providing them flats and providing them job opportunities. And this particular attack is coming right from the national spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party, Saurabh Bharadwaj, as well. So what you see is that the entire Aam Aadmi Party is now trying to train guns at the BJP and trying to put the BJP on the dock, because for the past several months it was the Bharatiya Janata Party and its specifically Delhi unit, which was continuously attacking and was critical of Arvind Kejriwal government, was putting a lot of accusations regarding the Rohingyas and their settlements in the national capital, and was linking the Rohingyas with the Aam Aadmi Party. So right here, Aam Aadmi Party is seeing it as a valid opportunity to attack the central government and the Bharatiya Janata Party over the entire issue. And in fact, one thing that is very interesting to note here is Saurabh Bharadwaj is saying that Delhi walas will not allow this to happen. So it is to be seen that in days to come, how Aam Aadmi Party, escalates the entire issue, how it plans or strategizes its entire political campaign or political fight over the issue. But clearly, AAP is seeing this entire episode as a political opportunity to hit back at the Bharatiya Janata Party. Back to
Right, when Hardeep Singh Puri speaks of how the Rohingya move debunks CAA critiques, this is precisely what AAP seems to be indulging in right now. What does Puri really mean? We do remember that there was extensive criticism on the CAA, which the government had decided to implement. But on the contrary, the government now giving flats to Rohingyas really debunks all those critiques who've condemned the government and its intentions over CAA.
Well, absolutely right. We know for a matter of fact that when CAA law was introduced and tabled and passed, and after that there were talks about doing NRC, the biggest concern in India with the protesters, human rights activists, and across the world, people who look over the human rights issue, was that the minorities or the Muslims will not be allowed in the country and they will not be provided citizenship, while all other groups, minority groups in the southern Asia would be provided citizenship in India. But now the government is saying that, look, we have a CAA law in place, but despite that, on humanitarian grounds, the Rohingya refugees who had taken shelter in India are now being provided with proper shelters, pakka homes, that too in the national capital. So BJP or the central government will definitely try to put it as, validation or vindication of whatever was the narrative so far. And Hardeep Puri is absolutely right in saying so, that the central government has not only allowed the Rohingya refugees to live in the national capital, but is also providing them respectable houses to live in. EWS quotas to live, flats to live in.
So absolutely, that is vindication of the government. The government will obviously put it forward as, despite the CA law being in place, the Modi government has now allowed the Rohingya refugees who were living in the national capital to have a respectable life.
Well, absolutely a great move. We're looking at Rohingyas now who will be moved to permanent Pakka homes from their basic tents, their shelters, now to apartments with basic amenities and also security around the clock. This move, of course, has attracted some criticism from the AAP party, who now targets the centre, claiming that the centre is now housing or giving room to Rohingyas at this point.